Greetings and salutations. Let me just mute my phone for the show. Greetings and salutations and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby and today I am going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag. Guys, I feel really official right now. Let's get started. 2021 has been an interesting reading year. I've read 24 books so far, and half of them have not been books that I chose to read. They were books I was required to read for school. I read a couple of fiction, short story collections. I read a couple of Shakespeare plays. I guess those are the main things I read for school, and then I picked out other things on the side. And now I'm excited because I'm graduated, so I can read whatever I want all the time. So let's just jump right into the first question, which was, what is the best book you've read of 2021 so far? I am a pretty lenient star giver when it comes to rating books. Like a lot of books I read for school, I don't even rate because I'm like, well, you know, maybe I just didn't get it, so they don't deserve my rating because I just missed the point. That's to say, I give out a lot of 5 stars, but my favorite one so far has been The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Now, I heard this book was super cute and everyone was loving it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna love it. And at first I was like, I'm not vibing, like it's good, but like it's not amazing. But then it reached a certain point and it just was so cute. It's got a found family aspect, which I learned from this book is something that I like. And it's just whimsical. It had like a magical element that made me really happy. And I just really loved this book. If you don't know, this is about magical youth who live in a home and they are the most dangerous magical youth. And this story follows Linus, who is a caseworker for the Department for Magical Youth, and he is assigned to go and review this house with the most dangerous children there, and it's just a really sweet story and I really loved it. Question 2 is the best sequel you've read so far in 2021. Well, this is a book I've actually read before, but I haven't read many sequels, and I'm actually not even finished rereading it yet, but that is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I am loving the Raven Cycle world. I loved it the first time I read it, but all the other books weren't out. Only the first 2 were out when I first read them. I really, again, love the magical realism. I just love the friend group in this story. It's so fun. Yeah, I've been reading this really slow despite the fact that I really like it. It's because every once in a while there's chapters about the gray man, if you've read this, and I don't like him. He bores me, so it's slowing the reading pace down. Question 3 is new releases from this year that you want to read but haven't yet, and I really would like to read An Emotion of Great Delight by Tahereh Mafi. If you look right up here, I actually have some of the Shatter Me books and Furthermore, and I also have A Very Large Expanse of Sea, which I read last year in like one sitting. And that, as soon as I finished, I knew I was gonna need to read An Emotion of Great Delight. Haven't gotten to that point yet. I just love Tahereh's writing so much, and I follow her on Instagram, and she's just like so cool and fashionable, and I think her and Ransom are adorable, so I just really like them. And I really want to read everything she writes because she is such a beautiful writer. Number 4 is anticipated releases for the rest of the year, and I am not a person who is keeping up to date on what's the latest. I have so many like backlog books I need to read, but 2 books I recently learned about. I think one I learned about in Books and Lala's video and one in Meg's video, Meg with Books. The first one is The Taking of Jake Livingston, and the second is White Smoke. They are both YA horror, and they are both Get Out meets something else. And I actually haven't seen Get Out yet. I need to watch it. But White Smoke is Get Out meets The Haunting of Hill House. And I love The Haunting of Hill House show. I haven't read the book yet. I really want to. I know it's kind of different, but I just love the show so much. I have a little art postcard that I ordered on Etsy that's greetings from Hill House. I'll insert a clip. It's really cute. Yeah, so I'm not completely sure the premise of White Smoke, but I know The Taking of Jake Livingston is this boy. He's like the only black student in his boarding school or prep school or something. So that makes him stand out. But then on top of that, he can see ghosts. And I believe the story follows he's interacting with the ghost of a school shooter, which very curious to see how that book goes. So both of those books sound really interesting to me. My biggest disappointment for 2021 so far was the second book in the Sherlock Holmes series, The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro, which, fun fact, in her first book, she thanks one of her professors, and it was a professor that I had. So that was really cool. I really loved the first book, Study in Charlotte, because of where it took place. Because the characters, it was like them getting to know each other kind of throughout it. In this book, they already know each other, and then it takes place somewhere else. And I just wasn't really vibing. This book felt more like a spy book, whereas the other ones feel more detective-y. This one just like let me down, but I read the rest of the series and I gave the third book 3 stars and the fourth book 4. So my ratings for this series go 5, 2, 3, 4, I believe. My biggest surprise for 2021 was that I actually enjoyed 2 Shakespeare stories. In my Shakespeare class, I struggled to read plays in the original Old English, and I ended up reading a lot of them in like the No Fear Shakespeare version online because it just took me so long to reference the footnotes and understand them. But one of the ones that I actually read, the Old English with the footnotes, figured it out, was A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I really loved that story. And maybe it was because the whole time I was reading it, I was thinking about the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody episode where they do Midsummer Night's Dream, the one with Selena Gomez. Classic. But then another Shakespeare play that I really enjoyed, which like I'm talking about Shakespeare as if it's like shocking that people like his plays, but I'm shocked that I liked his plays because I struggle with his work personally. I really also enjoyed Hamlet, which I can't remember if I read it in the original version or in the No Fear version. I probably did a little bit of a mix. I always started with trying to read it original and then would switch to the No Fear when I got frustrated. But yeah, I really enjoyed Hamlet. That one was a fun one, and that one I've seen on stage before, so maybe that helped. Maybe it helps for me having seen them before or having some context or knowledge about them. My favorite new to me author of 2021 would have to be Adam Silvera. I read They Both Die at the End with a friend, and it was just such a adorable book. I mean, definitely sad. I'm pretty sure I cried, but it's just, I really like this book. If you don't know, this book is about 2 boys. It's in a world where you get a call the day you're gonna die and you're told you are gonna die. So these 2 boys meet each other on an app for people who are about to die, and they spend their day together, and it's just a really beautiful story. Left at the end of the book wanting to read more of Adam Silvera's work. Excuse me. Next question is, who's your new fictional crush? Which I don't really have fictional crushes. I don't know. I can't think of one from this year. But if I had to answer, a book that I have been reading for several months right now, Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I did rename my hard drive Jamie Fraser. Do with that information what you will. This is how far I am, and I've been reading it for 4 months. Inactively reading, but new favorite characters for 2021 is again a book I reread, but of all the books I've read, these characters I just feel like are gonna stick with me, and that is Blue and Gang from The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I just love their friendship between Blue and Gansey and Adam, Noah, Ronan. This book is chock full of such well-rounded characters. I feel like every character is extremely vivid, and I am just loving these characters. And as I said before, I'm on the second book now. Very excited to read the third and fourth, and then to continue on with the new spin-off series about Ronan. A book that made me cry in 2021 so far is, can you guess? A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This book made me cry. I also read this with a friend, which I think made it such a better experience that I could talk about it while I was reading it. I think I would have struggled through this book by myself, which it's a difficult read because it has so many heavy topics, and it's also just got a lot of detail. It's a thick book. I'm pretty proud of myself for conquering this book. But yes, this book made me sob. And if you don't know, this book follows 4 friends who live in New York. It goes from their 20s till later in life, and it's just a really beautiful story. I kind of went into it knowing pretty much that, and that it also had a lot of really sad elements, and trigger warning for a lot of content in this book, so I would look that up if I was planning on reading it and didn't know what it entailed. On the flip side, a book that made you happy, I reread a graphic novel that I used to have when I was younger. That is The Babysitter's Club, based on the novel by Ann M. Martin, but this is from Raina Telgemeier. I had a couple of these books when they were first coming out, and I really loved them. This is actually not like my original copy. I bought them on thrift books because I just really wanted to re-experience them, and funny thing, they were not in color when I read them. I swear I started coloring my copy in, like the book sinner I am. These books are so cute. I've read the first 2 so far. I have 3 and 4 yet, and I want to read them, and I want to continue because apparently after the 4th book they switched illustrators, and now I think that person did 4, and I think they might be on to a 3rd one. So they're really pumping these out, and they're just so cute and fun and a very fast read. For the most beautiful books I've bought so far, yes, I said books, I bought 2 editions of the Penguin horror classics. The Haunting of Hill House. Look at this beauty. Black sprayed edges, orange detailing, smells like a delicious book. And The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, which it's purple. I am just obsessed with these. I have not read either of them yet, but I'm very excited to. And if I hate them, I'm keeping them anyway because they're so beautiful and they look cool. An honorable mention to the 25th anniversary edition of Practical Magic. Have not read this yet. I really loved the movie. Did anyone else know that Alice Hoffman, who wrote Practical Magic, wrote Aquamarine? Like Aquamarine, the movie with the blue hair, with JoJo. So do Aquamarine and Practical Magic exist in the same universe? Something to ponder. Yeah, I thought this was a really pretty edition. It's just a simple paperback, but the colors, the art, I vibe. Don't know if the book is any different than the movie. If you don't know, it's about these 2 sisters who are witches. They live with their aunts who are witches, and I've only seen the movie. And finally, the books that I want to finish before the end of the year. Obviously, I'm going to finish The Dream Thieves, but then I would desperately like to read Blue Lily Lily Blue and The Raven King. Look at these copies, untouched, unscathed, versus these copies like chipping away, broken spines. I read these both in high school and I'm rereading them now, and they are just beat up. I am 100% going to finish the Raven cycle before the year ends because it's not going to take me that much longer to finish this, and I am already in the series, so I can't just stop in the middle. I'm really trying my best to finish series. I have so many unfinished series. I am sincerely hoping that I finish Outlander. At the pace I'm going at, if it takes me 4 months to read this same amount, I'll only be this far. I really hope I finish this. I have books 2, 3, and 4 also. I really thought I was gonna read them a lot faster, and the next books are all like 1,000 pages. I at least want to get through this one. I definitely want to read Practical Magic. I'm very excited for this. If you've ever read Summer of Salt, I think it's called, that gave me the same vibes as Practical Magic, so I'm hoping that the book also has that vibe, like, you know, the little sea town and witchiness. But otherwise, I don't have anything specific I want to read. I definitely want to read a couple new releases. Last year, I think I read 2 new releases, like within that came out that year. So I haven't really read anything that came out this year yet. I want to pick up some classics. I don't know which ones yet. My Goodreads goal is to read 40 books. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to surpass that with all of the throwback books I'm reading, because those are quick childhood reads. I'm hoping I can pick up plenty of current time reads, books that are from decently recent. If you've made it this far, I want you to figure out what book is closest to you right now and comment below what it is. Kind of a random prompt. I have a big stack of books next to me and behind me, so I can't even answer my own question. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in and watching my mid-year freakout. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a lovely day, night, evening. That just reminded me of this scene in Coraline.
I love dinner breakfast food.
Coraline.